You know what I hear all the time? I want to start YouTube, but I don't have the right camera. Or I'll start once I have the equipment. And I used to believe that too. When I first started this channel, I thought I needed perfect lighting, perfect camera, perfect mics, perfect equipment. Basically everything apart from actually filming YouTube videos. But after the last year, I noticed something interesting. Regular people filming on their iPhone, in their cars, or during a walk are growing way faster than people who have crazy equipment worth thousands of dollars. So what changed? Well, that's exactly what we're going to talk about in this video, and how you can apply it to your own channel. The number one thing that actually changed is any iPhone or any smartphone in general is good enough for you to film on. The quality is good enough, the mic is good enough, even though if you can upgrade, that's the very first thing that you should upgrade on. But like the camera is good enough. I'm filming on my iPhone right now, and there's people that have millions and millions of subscribers that only use their iPhone. So you don't really need equipment anymore. Chances are you're watching this video on your iPhone or on your phone. I keep saying iPhone because that's what I use. You don't need expensive cameras or cameras at all if you have a smartphone. However, there's one thing that actually does matter, and that's that you're being yourself. If you try to be somebody you're not, then that's not a great thing. That doesn't mean that if you're very calm, you should be super calm and chill and not say anything on camera, because that would be a bit weird. But you know, if a day where you have energy, that's how you should talk on camera. It's not more energy that you should have, it's just you being you, and hopefully having a bit more energy, because if you're talking about a subject that's you're passionate about, a struggle that you've been through or something along those lines, chances are you'll be excited about that. I'm excited about talking about YouTube. I'm excited about different subjects that I can bring my energy. It's all about being yourself. What have you been through? How, you know, what happened last week in your day? Talking about personal subjects, your struggles, your insecurities, that just draws people in because you're being yourself. And that's why people who are walking in the park are growing way faster than people who have expensive gear, because it's just them being themselves. And people who have expensive gear, you notice that they have expensive gear, and in some situations it does matter. But most likely on YouTube, it's not, because you're building a personal brand. You're trying to connect with people. And when you have an ad instead of a YouTube video, it's not great. And people are not on YouTube to watch movies. They're on YouTube to actually have a genuine connection with somebody that's helping them in some sort of way, whether it's entertainment. We don't talk about that very much on this channel, or it's how you've been through the struggle and you can help somebody else go through it. Again, I say this in a lot of videos, but you don't have to be an expert. You just have to be a few steps ahead of somebody else. And that's enough. If you've made it, and I keep using the same example, I should probably change, but if you make a YouTube channel about YouTube and this is your very first video, you can help somebody that hasn't ever made a YouTube video. So just be yourself, be authentic, and try to help people as much as possible with what you've been through, and just being yourself on camera. The next thing is simple content can go viral. And I'm not trying to go viral on this YouTube channel, but there's viral and viral. I'm not trying to get tens of millions of views, but if I get a video that gets 20,000 views, that will be a viral video for me. It's all about perspective, but what I'm trying to say here is I've seen people that have made videos or entire YouTube channels without ever editing the video. They cut the beginning, the end, and that's it. And probably not even the end. Sometimes you even see them press stop on their phone or on their camera, but most likely their phone. And they don't cut anything else, and it just feels like you have a connection with them. And I've seen videos just like that. In fact, I have a clear video in mind where there's this retired person that talks about how his life is retiring and what's going on in his life. And he had a video that got millions of views. He doesn't edit. He films in this car, not a crazy car, by the way. It looks like an older car, and he's just talking about his YouTube channel, his life, and whatever it may be. And he's getting millions and millions of views just because he's being himself. He's not pretending to be somebody else, and he's probably helping other retired people or people who are about to retire, what it's going to be like, and preparing them for life. Or for life after work. So he's just being himself, and it's working. People are loving his videos, because if you get millions of views, there's a good chance that he's got a good fan base. And he's not even building a business. He should, in my opinion, but it's probably not for him. He doesn't want to do that. That's okay, but he's just making videos and just having fun making videos. So simple videos can do very well, and he's not the only example. I saw a woman the other day that was just walking in a park talking about whatever the subject was, and it was working. She was making a ton of money. There's people who are in a studio, or they're not in a real studio, but like in their living room, who are also doing the exact same thing, not cutting out anything. I cut out things when I'm looking at my notes. I'll cut the video. When I pause to think, or when I don't know what I'm saying, then I'll edit that part of the video out. But some people don't even do that, and I think the less you cut out, the better that your video will be. I had a suggestion the other day of people who thought I should put music in the background. I disagree with that, and I appreciate the suggestion, but I just don't want to do that. I think most of the time, 99% of the time, it's going to ruin the video. You see people who are doing that, and it does improve in some ways. I just don't like videos that do that. And if it's not your job, like as in you actually learn filmmaking and how to get emotion out of people with music, you probably shouldn't put any music. It's probably going to be too loud, too quiet, and you can't hear it, or not the right type of music. It's just going to be horrible. So in most cases, it's not going to be good unless you learned something about it. And I actually watched a video recently saying exactly that by somebody who has 2 successful YouTube channels. So don't bother about making music, just try and stay as simple as possible, and it will make your life easier as well to stay consistent. I post 2 videos a week, sometimes 3 when I do my analytics videos, which was last Friday. But if you have simple content, it's way easier to stay consistent, and I've been doing that for quite a while now, and I haven't missed a video for a very long time. And there are some things that you need to improve, and I can help you that. If you click the link in the description, you can just book a call and we'll talk about your channel. It's not a sales call, it's actually a call to help you directly. I'm not selling anything after that. One thing that is important is the idea. If your idea is great, you'll get views. If your idea is crap, you won't get views. Now, keep in mind, if you have 0 subscribers or 1 subscriber, you probably won't get a lot of views, but you'll get more views than if you had a crappy idea. Same goes, if you have a crappy idea, but you have tens of thousands of subscribers, you'll probably get some views at least. Your average will grow if you have good ideas. If you have good ideas, videos that actually work, and you can research that. You can see YouTube channels out there, click on them and see what videos perform in your niche, and just try to make your own video, your own version of that video, and that's how you can have good ideas without trying to research. Because if you think of an idea, then great, like you thought of the idea, but there's a very, very high chance that if you make that video, people aren't going to watch it, because it's just, there's no demand for it. Even though you wanted to make that video, you thought that there would be demand, at least check that there are some videos that are getting a lot of views on YouTube, on that subject, on that type of title. You need to get people involved, get people to click your videos. And if your subject or your idea isn't great, then it won't work. If your idea is in high demand and there's tons of videos out there that get hundreds of thousands of views, you make your own version of that, You might not get, and you probably won't get 100,000 views, but at least it will be higher than if you just thought of an idea and just decided to post it, because there's a high chance that it wouldn't be in high demand. Get other people to make the mistakes, but every single video, everything that you see in the world that's created by human beings is just an improvement of something else. And it's not just YouTube. Like Facebook was an improvement of MSN and MySpace, and it's just merging two things together and doing that. And every single thing out there is exactly the same. So don't be worried about stealing somebody else's idea. Just try to make your own version of that. And because you're a human being talking to a camera, you'll just have your own version, as long as you don't just steal the same text as somebody else. That would be stealing, but just make your own version. That will be a lot better than just thinking of your own ideas. Now here's the thing. Before the shift happened, when people just enjoyed watching raw videos like this, it was very hard to get right on YouTube. There were people that had, and there still are, people that have huge teams doing all sorts of things, editing that would take hours or days to edit a video, great lighting, just improving every single thing, optimizing everything. The script was so hard to do because you had to maximize every single thing for people to watch until the end of the video. And that still exists to some extent. You need to have a good title, good thumbnail, and good intros. But people aren't as bothered as they used to be, and so the barrier to entry is a lot lower than it used to be. That's why you just need an iPhone. You don't need an expensive camera. You don't need a whole YouTube studio. You don't need a whole team to be able to grow on YouTube and make great YouTube videos that people actually want to watch, because people aren't as bothered. Now, if you want to make content like Mr. Beast, it's going to be very expensive, but chances are you're not, because if you're trying to grow a YouTube channel, helping people out in some different space, and doing how-to YouTube videos, is going to be much cheaper, and the barrier to entry is good, as long as you share your experiences, how you overcome them, and how you're doing better like that. And you don't have to have expensive gear or just anything really, apart from a mic. I would advise people to get a good mic. This is the DJI Mini, and you can tell for yourself if it's good or not, but I do feel like it's good. At least it's a lot better than when I was filming on my phone. So it's not a super expensive mic, but if you get something like this, at least get some sort of quality where the sound is a lot better. Now, experience comes before confidence. So if you make a YouTube video every 3 weeks and you're expecting to grow with 4 YouTube videos, it's not going to happen, because at the beginning you're not going to be confident. And that's the same thing. If you wait before you film your first YouTube video because you don't feel confident yet, you'll never feel confident. But if you film your first video without being confident, the video is probably going to be super bad. You're probably not going to like the way you sound. You're probably going to sound very stiff, very robotic, and your video is just going to be bad. But guess what? That's a step that you have to go through. So once you film that video, the second video, you're going to be a bit more confident because you've done it already and you've posted it. You probably didn't get views, but the world around you didn't just disappear and you're still alive. And it does feel like your line is on the way when you first film your first YouTube video, because you think of all sorts of different things. What are my friends and family going to think? Whatever it may be. But once you just film that video, you realize nobody really watches it. If they do watch it, that means that either you shared your video, which I would not advise because they're not the right people for you, so it's going to confuse the algorithm. And if they do find out about that video by themselves, that means that your video did really, really well and you should probably be proud. So your first video is going to suck. no matter what, but that's just a step that you have to go through. Your second one, probably a bit less, and it's just going to improve, and your confidence is going to grow over time after making video after video after video. And it's not a matter of 20 videos, it's more a matter of 100 videos. Possibly less to be happy about your videos, or at least think your videos are alright and get some views, some comments. But I would say like 500 videos before your YouTube channel is like real solid and people will really enjoy it, and you have people that are just enjoying that. I have less than 500 videos, so I'm not worried about some, videos getting 100 views. That's all right. And if you have 20 videos and you have 5 views per video, same thing, that's all right. You're just going to improve and try to find out what's the problem with your videos. Don't take a wild guess, just try to really understand. Some people are just guessing what's wrong, and some things are obvious, like you're not confident talking on camera. Yes, you need to improve that. Your editing is not that great. Yes, but if you think the subject is the problem, it's probably not. Or your niche is the problem, it's probably not. I can help you with that if you click the first link, but chances are the problem isn't your niche, it's something else. It's something to do with the quality of your video. And when I say quality, I don't mean the image is great or bad, because if you're using a smartphone that's fairly recent, it will work. But just try to improve your videos over time. And if you don't know what to improve, get somebody to help you. I can be that person, but you can use somebody else, as long as they know something about YouTube and they're a few steps ahead of you. Now, if you're trying to build a business out of YouTube, the trust is very important. How do you build trust? Well, you talk about your problems, your insecurities, what you've been through, and you talk about the subject that you want to talk about, and you show people that you know at least some part of the subject. Again, I use the same example as I used earlier in the video. If you made a YouTube video and somebody else hasn't, you're ahead of them. And once you've made that video and you improve, then you made 2 videos, and some people have just made 1. And it just goes on. And that's just an example. I don't care what you've been through, but just show people that you know what you're talking about. If you know how to edit your first video and you discovered something, show people how to edit that video, for example. Show them how you overcame the fear of filming your first video. There's 2 videos already, and that's just for YouTube specific. But if you have a channel about something else, just same thing. You've probably been through something. You're probably ahead of somebody that's in the middle or trying to learn about that specific skill. Then you can help with that as well. So as long as you show that you know what you're talking about in some sort of way, you show that you are a human being by sharing your problems and insecurities and things that you've worked on and how you're getting better at that or this or that subject, great. That builds a connection, and that also builds potentially buyers that want to buy something from you if you have something to sell. And it's either way, it's probably going to help you to get to monetization on YouTube if that's what you're trying to get. But if you're trying to build a business, it's the same thing. The next thing is you need to appreciate your audience. Every time I see a new view, I'm happy. Every time I see a new comment, I'm even happier. Every time I see a subscriber, I'm happy that they're getting welcomed into the community and just having like-minded people that are also trying to grow YouTube channels, potentially businesses, just people who are a bit like me that I don't get to see very often in life. I don't know anybody who has a YouTube channel about helping people on the internet. I just see them online. And so building a community like this is awesome. And every time I get a new subscriber, and it was the same thing when I got my first 1, 2, or 3 subscribers at the beginning, I was super stoked because I was actually building something. And I think you need to be happy about that. You need to be thankful about every view, every subscriber, every like, every interaction that you have, because that's what is building your community. I respond to every comment, not just because I think it will help the YouTube algorithm, but because I genuinely enjoy having comments and interacting with you guys and just having a talk, and people who are happy about the videos that say something along the lines of this video was helpful because of X reason, or it helped me push because I was about to give up. And when I see those comments, I'm like, I actually am making videos for the right reasons. I actually am helping people, and that's just a great feeling all around. And again, if you're trying to get help, there's a link in the description. And that's if you have any questions about YouTube, anything related to YouTube, I'm ready to help you. So feel free to do that. I remember what it's like to have 0 subscribers and 0 views. So just let me know. And sometimes it's really tough to make YouTube videos when nobody wants to watch. So I made this video that you can check out right here that just gives you the right reasons to do that and to help you grow when you have 0 views at the beginning, and gives you a reason to keep going, because you do need to have a good reason. Otherwise, you'll just quit way too early before something hits. So with that said, I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.